for introductions, my name is Jeremy. Vincent.
Sam.
Sorry.
Yantai. Chin.
Tony. Wrong.
Okay. So we're responsible for the trauma intervention app, and these are the things that we'll be covering in our presentation: abstract overview, app overview, expected features, our first iteration backlog, and wireframes. And before we start off, we'd like to look at the leadership team for ARCOS. It consists of various medical professionals and people who have experience in the technology field. So in comparing the quality of healthcare in rural areas versus urban areas, rural areas experience more deficiencies. This observation is notably true for first aid treatment. Trauma patients in rural areas wait longer than their urban counterparts. In turn, longer wait times may result in worse outcomes for patients. On average, we did research. We found that on average, rural areas wait 5 to 10 more minutes for emergency services than their urban counterparts. And these 5 to 10 minutes can really matter if someone's life is on the line. Next. Generally, untrained caregivers are the first one to respond to trauma patients. First aid can contribute to improving positive patient outcomes, especially if given immediately. In rural areas, proper first aid performed by bystanders can be life-saving. Now, the research, we read a couple of scholarly articles, and we found out that when given proper first aid, the patient's positive outcomes increased by 9% compared to improper first aid. And this doesn't seem like much, but this could potentially prevent a fatality. So, for our app overview, our project is a cross-platform mobile application that will greatly assist paramedics and other rescue teams. This app will be exceptionally useful in rural areas or military combat fields where access to the internet or communication services are limited or inaccessible. The main function of our app is to act as a guideline to walk users through the clinical process and procedures. The secondary functions of the app include monitoring patient data and patient assessment. These are the app's core functions and will ultimately increase positive patient outcomes. Now, each step displayed will accommodate depending on any changes of user input. Currently, there's no way to integrate output directly from other medical devices as input data yet. For example, if someone had EKG on their body, there's no way to transmit that data onto our app directly. You would have to type it manually. And here are the app overviews that have gone into a little more detail. We'll identify patient's injury type, patient's estimated blood loss, monitor data, navigate users through steps of clinical guidelines, and provide an overview of the clinical guideline. And to give y'all an example of how, in a real world situation, how this will go. So imagine if you go to your uncle's chicken farm, right? And then someone gets their arm chopped off, right? And this is you, another medical professional over here, right? He's on the floor, he's bleeding out. Oh wait, look at this, I have an app that I can use to help save his life. Oh no, here, get the data. Sir, what's your name?
I'm dying.
He's typing the data and I'm telling him what to do.
I'm dying.
His
I
life is
can't
saved.
remember my name.
And following this app, his life will be saved. And that's it. So, continuing with our first iteration backlog and development framework. Right now we're starting to learn some basics of React Native framework and Redux. Right now this is the first iteration. So for testing tools, we're starting to learn some basics of Jest and Jenkins for our first week of first iteration. For our first iteration backlog, design and implement the main navigation UI. We're also starting to do that. We also have some prototypes like we're working on right now. And the app will follow material design for both Android and iOS. We don't want to make it like an ugly looking app, of course. The iOS UI design will be maybe changed to the Cupertino design in the future, but they aren't too time consuming or app breaking. Wireframes. Bye.
Yeah. So these are it's not the final design, but these are the wireframes. So we didn't think of a login screen because
Say aloud, please.
Yeah, we didn't think of a login screen because in times of emergency, we cannot expect the user to type in their username and password. So that's why we didn't create a login screen for now. So yeah, pretty much this is it. We have design based on whatever the PPT, the info that we got from the company. So that's it.
And these are just some of the sources cited from the scholarly articles that we've read over rural first aid treatment. And that's it. Thank you.
a prototype for showing that what we have so far. Oh, then sorry, straight. Oh, yeah. Alright, sure. Okay, so this is our prototype so far. So this is a iOS, and this is Android. Basically, they have the same UI, but actually, when you look at the button here, it's more rounded on the corner, which is Cupertino UI from iOS, and it's more square. This square button is more square. Is from Material Design from Android. So this is our prototype so far, and we will use that as a main layout, like a tab bar like this. It make more, it make the interaction with the app faster, because in time of the emergency, you want everything has to be quick and fast. So this is what we have so far, and that's it.